Hello, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I am Dr. Gail, and I am so glad that you're here. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you will know when I go live. And so tonight, I want to talk to you about the four types of foreplay. Yes, the four types of foreplay. Now, most people just go automatically when you talk about foreplay. We talk about a little rubbing and kissing so we can get to penetration sex. But it's a lot that goes on with foreplay outside the bedroom and inside the bedroom. So let me say that again. Outside the bedroom and inside the bedroom that you need to cultivate in order for both of you, your wife and your husband, or your husband and your wife, to feel fulfilled doing penetration sex. Now, the four types of foreplay I'm going to talk about, yes. Does it lead to amazing penetration sex? Yes. But for some couples who cannot engage in penetration sex, these four stages will be enough, right? Because if done right, it is designed to keep you guys close together again outside of the bedroom as well as inside the bedroom. So let's go. The first type of foreplay is intellectual. Yes, having meaningful conversations are one of the most important things for women, right? I know a lot of times when we say we need to talk, you guys go, oh my God. And I'm not saying that every man feels that way, and I'm not saying that every woman feels this way, but let me just tell you, I have been doing this for 20 plus years, and I have been blessed to coach and counsel thousands and thousands of women, men, and couples. Okay. So the first thing is learning to have meaningful conversations. And what I have also found is that when you're dealing with your spouse, most of the time we don't understand when is the best time to have a conversation with your spouse. We usually want to do it in the heat of the moment or when stress is really high, but that's not always the best time to speak with your spouse. So really understand, ask them, when is the best time for us to have meaningful conversations, okay? We're still talking about intellectual. Number two is talking about your different views. Even though you've been married for a while, or even if you just got married, every person is going to have a different view of how life should be, how the marriage should go, or whatever. But you need to sit down and have a conversation about your different views. It could be that you grew up Democrat and he grew up, Republican or independent or whatever, but you need to keep continuing having those meaningful conversations, because again, those are the kind of things that are happening outside the bedroom that keep you connected, okay? Number three is going out on different types of dates, right? I say expand. Yes, dinner and a movie, watching a show inside and doing takeout is great. But really going on a date and experiencing something different, stepping out of your comfort zone to create new memories. Either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it, but at least you have something new to talk about. So go to different shows, go to museums if you're not a museum buff, go to the theater, go do something different. I will tell you this, Gil and I went axe throwing. And that was so out of my comfort zone because he thinks I'm a big priss pot or whatever. But let me just tell you, we had a blast, and actually I was pretty good at it, right? And that was shocking for me, right? But it was a new experience, and it's something that he and I literally laugh about. We had to drive quite a bit of ways to get to the place, but when I tell you, it was so worth it, and I stepped out of my comfort zone, and it's something that we can talk about, laugh about for years to come. Okay, so just go on a date and do something different. Okay, number four, Show each show each other something new. If you've learned a new skill or came into a knowledge of something different, share that with your spouse. Because again, you're connecting beyond physical. You're connecting with the mind. So if you learned a new skill or discovered something new, it's nothing wrong with sharing with your spouse. I'm constantly on social media, and so I'm like, oh, Gil, I learned to cook this, or I learned to do this, or whatever. Did you know what this was really created for, or whatever? All of these different little knowledge things brings you closer together, okay? And then the last thing is just really offering a different perspective. Not arguing, but just saying, honey, have you stopped to think that maybe X, Y, and Z could work instead of just doing it the same way that you learned to do it? Or have you thought outside the box that maybe this can work, right? Because you're connecting in a different way, and you allow your spouse to see you in a different light as well. So let's go to number 2, which is emotional. Yes, emotional. This is one that is very, 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 very important, right? And a lot of times we women struggle with this one, but men do too. So I'm not going to just put it all on the women. But the first way that most people struggle is really being vulnerable, being open, being present and open, especially if you have given your heart to your spouse and they have used it against you, or there has been some infidelity, or there has been breach of trust. It is very hard to be vulnerable. But just remember, you said that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with that person. So you are going to have to put yourself in a space where you learn to be vulnerable in front of your wife. And I want to say this to the men. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to show emotions. It's okay for you to show your softer side to us. We like that, okay? And we're not going to use it against you, okay? Number 2, learn to flirt with each other. Learn to tease each other sexually, right? Because that just helps with the foreplay. And again, I'm talking about 3 types of foreplay. 3 types of foreplay that is going to get you in a situation where it leads to penetration sex, and that you get a chance to really learn and love and cultivate each other outside of the bedroom. So learn to flirt. It's okay. This is your spouse. You flirted with them when you was trying to get them, so why don't you flirt with them and to keep them, okay? Number 3 is really learn to dream together. Learn to dream together. Yes, it's great to have your own dreams, goals, and aspiration outside of the marriage, because I think that's healthy for you to have them, for your spouse to have them, but also for you guys to have them together so you can look forward to achieving something together, or look forward for your future, look forward for something for you guys to say, you know what, we got to reach this, we got to do this as a team, we're one, let's work on this, okay? It's nothing wrong with having your own, but also you should have it as a couple. And number 4, you should definitely be giving your spouse compliments, right? Not fake, but men want compliments just like we do as women, right? So take the time to compliment your husband, right? If he got a nice booty, or his booty's looking good in those jeans, there's nothing wrong with saying, look at your butt is looking good in those jeans, and vice versa. We want to be told we're pretty. We want to be told that we're gorgeous. We want you to notice that we have a different hairdo. We want you to give us compliments, and men need those as well, okay? Now let's get to the last types of foreplay. Physical. This is the one that everybody's mind automatically goes to when we talk about foreplay. The first one is make sure that you're kissing and hugging each other on a daily basis. Even if you're like not feeling it, even if you're mad, hug and kiss your spouse, because you never know when it's going to be your last opportunity to do so. So hug and kiss your spouse. Even when Gil and I'm like ready to wring his neck or he's ready to wring mine, we every morning before we part, we hug and we kiss each other and we tell each other we love her. It might not be as passionate, I'm being honest, but we do it. So kiss and hug your spouse all the time. And then the next thing is learn to give your spouse a sensual massage. Sometimes just a sensual massage, just being touched and caressed and rubbed on is enough. You don't even have to go to penetration sex because it's just enough to get you in a space where you know that you have connected with your spouse. And number 3, learn to just nibble, kiss, tug, pull, earlobes, fingertips, feet, whatever that thing is for you, learn to do it because, again, it's leading you to a place that ends in penetration sex if that's what you desire. So just learn to do something different. Learn to engage all of your senses and use these hands a lot, okay? And then number 4, of course, is if you can engage in penetration sex on a regular basis. And what I'm saying on a regular basis, I would rather for you to have quality sex than quantity sex, because when you're just having quantity sex, it's like a wham bam, thank you ma'am, and there's no engagement. It's none of these stages, it's none of that going on, and eventually one spouse is going to feel like they're just a body there. And so my thing is engage in quality sex where you're 100% present and you're both giving and receiving pleasure in order to lead to orgasm, okay? I hope and pray that this teaching has helped someone, and just make sure that foreplay is something that is happening in your marriage inside and outside of the bedroom. I love you guys to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before I go, if you want this video or any of my videos sent to your significant other, do me a favor, click the link down below, and one of my team members will be happy to do that on your behalf. The other thing is, if you want to talk to me, feel free to click the link below as well. And you can schedule a free 15-minute discovery call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm only trying to help you with one situation, give you a tool and a strategy to help you win in your marriage. I love you, and I will see you next week.